Everyone, so clearly we're living through extraordinary times at the moment, and folks on social media are, sharing information about what's in their go bags. And I thought I'd share mine, not out of any kind of, oh, this is a great go bag, this is what you need. I'm far from an authority on preparedness or whatever, but I do take it seriously, and have my own sort of priorities. So I thought that, this would be maybe some things that I have might strike your interest and say, oh, I should have them. It might go back. Firstly, I just have to say this is such a great backpack. It's the Timbuk2. I bought it last summer. It was the first time in my life I've bought what I would call a quality backpack, like not just, a random one. And it really does make a big difference. It's comfortable to run in, which is critical, and it's comfortable. It doesn't slow you down, which is also critical. So here are the things in no particular order. I've kind of just emptied it out, and I'll show them one by one in, again, a kind of chaotic order, because this is how we operate in chaotic times. Bluetooth headphones with noise cancellation. Now you might think, oh, this is a first world go back. There's a reason why my personal priority in emergencies is information, getting information from the government specifically, because there's fake news being propagated by Iran and unreliable news and rumors. So I tune into CAN, Israel State Broadcaster. I have their app on all my devices. And these are Bluetooth headphones from Nothing X with good noise cancellation. Now, the reason that's important is when you're in a safe room, you've got a lot of people talking. There's dogs barking, it's chaos. This blocks out the background noise and you can hear very clearly what the government is saying. They put the civilian preparedness person on the TV panel and he gives the official. So it's kind of like its own preparedness system. Caffeine pills. Why is this? Why you're speaking so fast, Daniel, the whole time? This is the caffeine pills. These are actually really useful. Why? Because the alerts frequently happen at 3 in the morning or just after you've fallen asleep. And in the worst case scenario, you've got up to 5 minutes to find safe shelter from a ballistic missile. So you need to get awake very quickly, and you don't have time to make a nice cappuccino while Iran is readying its drones and rockets. You don't say, should I froth it? Where's the milk frother? Deodorant. Yeah, you do realize very quickly that when you get a lot of people, stressed people in a small confined space underground in the Israeli summer without any air conditioning, it gets very smelly very quickly. So for the courtesy of others in this space. Flashlight, essential. I have to just say, don't rely on the torch on your phone. It's just like, you're going to want, this is come in handy for a few reasons. Firstly, it's got you can have a torch with an SOS setting. But this particular one, like this strobe one, sorry for anyone, I should have put a warning. I don't have time to, so I'm just going to cover it up like that. To alert people, hey, this is where the safe room is, there's shelter here. The other thing that this thing does well is give you a focus beam. So if you're trying to figure out, hey, where's the safe room here? Because a lot of these safe spaces are underground car parks. They're multi-story. There's loads of little nooks and crannies. And there is signage, but it's hard to see in the middle of the night. So this just single, thumb mechanism, and you can just quickly try to figure out where the safety is. Yes, a power bank. Have to have a power bank. A big power bank. It's a trade-off because something I would love to have, but they're very expensive, is these power stations that are kind of beefed up, like the next level of power banks. But this is a Baseus 20,000 milliampere one that's 65W, so you'll get your device charged up. Again, from my perspective, the key is staying connected and getting the government updates. So they'll tell you need internet connectivity to get the Homefront Command updates, when it's safe to leave the shelter, when you need to be next to the shelter, when they're firing missiles, Twitter, Telegram, all these sources for real-time updates. And then this one, I didn't choose any of this stuff kind of randomly. This has a couple of outlets. And I also have a USB-C splitter. Now, this isn't really ideal. I have NFC tags on my stuff just to organize it. I feel very, a little bit self-conscious when I'm making this video. I was showing you guys all my weird stuff. But this is one USB in, and it'll give you more ports. So it's not ideal. You're going to be sharing the sharing the max output capacity between what you've got plugged in, but it gives you a bit more room to work with. Oh yes, now we're going to get to the quirky stuff. Although Maybe the caffeine pills fill that requirement already. Okay, this has actually been the most useful thing so far, practically speaking. This is the This is a GLINet Opal. It is a travel router. Now, what these things are intended for, and why I bought this, is when you're traveling in hotels, airports, you don't trust the internet, so you can just connect to either a existing network or an Ethernet port, and you'll be able to create your own network with a VPN or whatever else you want to use for security, like Tor, etc. Now, the reason this has been a life changer is too far. A game changer or a game saver. In these underground car parks in Israel, the Teken, the official Israeli standard, mandates that there is internet, but they put an Ethernet port. Now, an Ethernet port by itself, unless you happen to have a laptop with an Ethernet port on you, isn't going to help. You get internet. So people were like, wait, you have a router in your backpack? I was like, don't ask too many questions. Kind of a prepper. So yes, I actually do have a router in my backpack. And this can run off mains power, or it can run off a power bank. So one power bank just for this. And again, to state the obvious, we have power now, but before the first days of the war, in our shelter, no cellular, because you're 4 stories underground. The only way to stay connected was actually thanks to the fact that someone had put an Ethernet port in the safe room, and I was able to hook my GLINet into it and spin up a Wi-Fi network. And if you do want to kind of set this up for the benefit of others, I just created an open network called like Emergency Wi-Fi. And I think at one point there was like 20 people connecting to my network, or literally everyone was like, oh, I'm on you. Thanks for the Wi-Fi. I'm like, okay, cool. Glad to help. So you might want to pre-configure it, like set up a network with a very obvious name like Emergency Wi-Fi, free use or public use, whatever, just to help other folks to stay connected in an emergency. And because internet will get you the Homefront Command app and whatever. Finally, just a spare Android can be useful if you want to keep your main device for checking emergency updates, and you want to put this, kind of sitting up and watching the national TV, as I mentioned, and of course a phone charger. And then on the more conventional level, first aid kit, and 3 liters of water, and an eye mask and medication supply. So it's too much to all cram into this one backpack. So what I've done so far is this is like my tech gear, connectivity gear backpack, and then just a separate one for stuff like, a big water bottle and all the other basics. And that's my kit at the moment.